Well, hi, I'm Carmel, www.beingandbecoming.life, and this is your daily download. I have been today reading tarot cards all day. I've had a nice session, nice day of session after session, which has been really, a lot of information, a lot of conversation, a lot of talking, and I literally have about 40 minutes before I've got to go get my kid from preschool, and so I thought I'd just quickly jump on and speak to you all a little bit about the card that struck me the most today, and it's this guy here, the Fool. This is the Zero card, the card that happens before the developmental levels of the tarot kick off into place. And what I love about the tarot is the developmental structures that we can work through within ourselves and how we can use them as a tool for our own self-awareness. And when the Fool shows up in a reading, look at this, he's jumping off the cliff. He's got no supplies with him at all. There are no supplies here. No backpack, no tent, no nothing. And he's just jumping off the cliff into a whole new world, down this crazy path to a new sunrise. And that's what it feels like we're doing in the world at this time. We're embarking upon a whole new beginning. You'll also see the eagle is in the tree perched up here. I love the symbology of the tarot. The other thing is too, he's got green leaves in his head, but this is all dead here. It's like, and this is quite barren. It's like, how do we move forward into a brand new, nourishing kind of way of life? The Fool does not have an agenda, and I've talked about the agendaless agenda before, but this is a time of really dropping agendas and moving into a new world. And so if we're moving into a new world, what are we focusing on? Are we going to focus on the dead, barren branch here? Are we going to focus on the cliff that we're jumping off of and wondering how far down it is? Or are we going to focus on the new growth that's coming and the path ahead and how we make our way through the path ahead? If we just stay on the cliff without jumping, then we're kind of stuck. There's just a cliff in front of us and we can only look back on the past that we've had. But if we leap off and we start to focus on the newness and how do we land in a new world? How do we move forward through a new world? It's a time of really trusting the inside out way of being, the inside out way of creating. We don't know what it looks like in the future. We don't know the world that we're moving into. We can't plan very far into the future at this time because the future that we're planning into can only be planned into from the place that we're at this time, in this now moment. And in this now moment, the future's not clear. There's nothing clear about what's going on right now. The only thing that's clear to me is that stuff's dying, stuff's ending, stuff's crumbling, stuff's falling down, stuff doesn't work, stuff never fucking worked. And now it's time to start really looking at how it could work, what could it look like? But we don't know what it looks like yet. So it's kind of like when you give birth to a baby, you know that you're giving birth to a baby. It's not a cat that you're giving birth to. It's not, it might have cat-like qualities, but it's not a cat. It's not a hippopotamus, you hope. It's not, it's a baby. It's a baby human that you're giving birth to. But you have no idea what that human's going to look like. You've got no idea what capacity that human's going to have artistically or intellectually or mathematically or musically. You don't know anything about this baby yet because you don't know this baby yet. We don't know the world we're giving birth to at the moment. We don't know the humanity that is being born into this world at this moment. All we know is that we're the creator of the worlds that we're creating at this time. And when we give birth to a baby, for example, when I gave birth to my kid, I didn't just give birth to that baby. I gave birth to grandparents and a father and aunties and uncles, and I gave birth to a whole generation of cousins and second cousins once removed, and a whole generation of the lineage was born. I gave birth to all of that then needed, apparently, me to be responsible for their role in it in some way. And it was kind of took a little bit of cultivating for me to say, yeah, you're the one that moves into grandparent now. You're the one who moves into the auntie role. My job's to move into the mother that I gave birth to. How do I take care of the mother? That's my responsibility. And the child, of course. But everyone else's role within the world that I gave birth to, that's up to them. And this is what the Fool is all about. It's like, how do we embrace that newness inside of us without being codependent on the needs of everyone else being taken care of before I can take care of myself. That everybody else has to be okay in the world before I'm okay. That's where we start to draw the line. That's where we say, no, not my shit, that's yours. You take care of you, I take care of me. I take care of the role of the mother that got born. I take care of the child until the child's a certain age. I probably always take care of the child, but the way in which I take care will change at age appropriate ways for that to take its change, So we can't plan too far into the future. And if we can't plan too far into the future, what have we got? This now moment. So what's the next step in this now moment? Is to feel what wants to happen next. What is in this next moment that is aligned with coming forward next now? If I try to make a 5-year plan at the moment, what am I basing that on? I'm basing that on how the past has gone, how life has been before, in the world that I've been in up until now. But with everything crumbling and changing and the way that it is, and if you're not seeing that everything's crumbling and changing, then perhaps in your reality it's not, and that's fine. If this doesn't resonate with you, just turn me off. That's the beauty of this, right? But if this does resonate with you, and if you are feeling a crumbling and an ending of worlds, then what is the world you're creating? You can only create it one step at a time from the inside out. So the invitation is to keep coming back to the cliff that you're jumping off of in every moment. What cliff are you jumping off now? What cliff are you jumping off now? Because every step we take at the moment is stepping off a cliff. We don't know quite the ground that our feet are going to land on. We don't quite know what the balance is going to be like. And it might take a little bit of turbulence and change and releasing and letting go and a little bit of uncertainty and imbalance before we land in a new place. And then we might balance there just for a moment before we take the next step off the cliff again. So if we just remember that at the moment each step we take is jumping us off a cliff of some kind, sometimes it'll be a real deep cliff, a steep one, and we'll fall and we'll trip, and we might even fall flat on our face and go, oh my God, what do I do now? But other times it'll be just a little drop, like a shoebox, So the invitation is to keep stepping back into yourself, stepping off each cliff that you step off from inside of your heart, from inside that feeling inside of you that knows exactly who you are in this moment, because you're rooted into your source connection, and you're rooted into your inner healing ability, and you're rooted into the power of who you really are, not the power you were told and made to believe and were programmed to believe was true about you. That power doesn't exist. The power to do and be all you came here to do and be, not the power over you to stop you from doing all of that. Big difference. Step into the power that you are and step off the cliff. Jump. You got this. And then ask, what's the next step? What's the next step? Trust you won't know what it's going to look like until it's born and you're actually learning how to raise it. My kid's 4.5 and I'm still a rookie parent trying to figure out how to raise this kid. But one step at a time is what we do. If you'd like some support in how to take your next step in what you do, we could take a leap with some tarot and we could springboard that into some conscious conversation and hold a deeper container. That's where I'm at. That's where the rubber hits the road with me. And that's the container I'm really enjoying holding at this time. It's a really fueling, nurturing way of working, and it's fun. I'm Carmel. You can go to www.beingandbecoming.life to find out more, and in the meantime, if no one's told you so far yet today, I love you. I do.